Hi there, I'm Chef Celeste, and welcome to my Louisiana kitchen, where I'll take you all around Louisiana through food. On today's episode, we're talking pies. We're making sweet potato pies, we're making pecan pies. So stay tuned and we'll get started. All right, I am in the beautiful kitchen of my friends Mike and Judy. Juno, thank you for having me in the kitchen. Yes, I like to take over kitchens, hence my Louisiana kitchen. So let's get started here. We're going to do the pecan pie first. So preheat your oven to 375 degrees. We are using pre-cooked, not pre-cooked, but pre-made pie shells, because making pie shells, that's another whole show by itself. So we're not going to do that, okay? So first off, we're going to have you want 1 cup of packed, you can use light brown sugar, but I'm using, this is what I want to use here, the light brown. This is packed, so put it into your cup, and what you literally do is pack it down. You know me and my measurements by now, so, but it packs down, you give the right amount. 3/4 cup of condensed milk. And I found something interesting. They have condensed coconut milk. That is actually non-dairy. So I'm gonna try one like that later. Not today. So I'm just gonna blend this around. Then we're gonna do 3 eggs. 1, 2, put them in my empty bowl over here. 3. Okay, so I'm gonna stir in my eggs. Get that all mixed up with my sugar and my milk. It's getting all foamy right here. And then add in a pinch of salt, a little bit of vanilla if you want in there, but I think instead of doing vanilla for myself, I'm gonna add a little bit of orange liqueur in there. So then we're gonna go in with a 1/3 cup of Karo syrup. You can use light Karo syrup. I like the dark. So that's what I'm going to use. Add that in. And when you're making your pies, you know, you're following your recipe, but still make it your own, okay? So now we're going to add in 1.5 cups of pecans. These are Louisiana pecans. Came from Mr. Buddy's farm. So that's the thing about being here in Louisiana. We grow so many things that, you know, I like to tell people you go to the grocery store for toiletries and things like that. Because from the meat to the vegetables to the fruit, all of that, we grow so much here in Louisiana. So we have this in. Let me grab my liqueur and show you what I'm doing here. So I have this right over here, nice and handy. And I'm gonna put a teaspoon of that in. All right, get that measured out because I don't want to add too much of that one. All right, and last but not least, we need butter. I melted my butter. It's in this container here because this is Louisiana butter also. I get this from the market. That is 1/2 cup of melted butter in there. That's going to give it that nice richness. This is unsalted butter. So if you use salted butter, just adjust the amount that you put into your recipe, okay? You don't want it too salty, okay? But you need some salt to help balance it out. This is enough for 2 pies. So I'm gonna take that and we're gonna pour into the pie shell. We don't wanna overfill. Okay? Spread it out. And then this is gonna go into the oven, okay? And when we come back, we're gonna make our sweet potato pies. I'll see you in a minute. All right, we're about to move into one of my favorites, sweet potato pies. Now, to me, a sweet potato pie is very close to candied yams, except for you get to eat it for dessert. So I'm gonna put my sweet potatoes in. I'm just doing 2 whole sweet potatoes. They have been baked already. I prefer to bake mine and not boil it because to me, that keeps the flavor in there better than if you were to boil it. So just take a little extra time and just bake your sweet potato and just mash it. You see the way I'm mashing it here? That way I like to do this beforehand so I don't have to worry about all the lumps when I start adding everything in here. So the ingredients in there, I'm going to add sweetened condensed milk, just a little bit, because like I said, I found this sweetened coconut milk. So I'm going to use that in there and test something out first. So I took a little bit of the sweet potato, put it on the spoon, put a little bit of the condensed coconut on there, and I didn't taste it because I already knew it was going to taste good. So I had someone sample it for me, and we got the thumbs up. So that's what we're going to do. So when you're cooking, just try a little bit of something different, okay? So with that, now I'm going to add in a little bit of butter. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Okay. And then we're going to have my brown sugar going in. I'm going to put about a cup of brown sugar in. Okay. Let's mix that in. I have a whisk right here. I'm going to use it in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to mix that in. You can use dark brown if you like. That's one of my favorites, but there we go. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. And you see the farm raised eggs up here also. That's one of the beautiful things also about being here in Louisiana or wherever you are. If you have farm raised, then you know, use those. So, all right, stirring these eggs in. Now, can you do this with a blender? Yep. Okay, now the coconut. It's gonna separate, but once you blend it all in, it's okay. So when you see it like that coming out of the tin, don't fret. It's all gonna come in here together. All your goodness will be in here. All right, now, if you like cinnamon in there, nutmeg, add it in there. That's not what I like to put in mine, so I'm not going to. So I'm gonna give this a good stir. Put that in there, I don't wanna make a mess. To get out the rest of my lumps, I'm going to add a little bit of extra flavoring in here. So the theme for today is a little bit of orange. So I'm going to add some of the, you can add bourbon in here. You can add the vanilla in here, vanilla beans. So whatever you like. I'm going to add a little bit of the orange liqueur in here because when I'm showing people how to cook my style, if I do everything according to the recipes or whatever you can pull offline, then what's the sense in watching? So be adventurous, okay? Be adventurous with me. So I did pre-bake my pie shells on this one here. Not all the way, but I just like to put them in there, let them get like a light golden. That way, by the time the pie is done, I don't have a soggy dough on the bottom. But you see the consistency there? And this is enough again for 2 pies. Pour that in. In fact, let me get my spatula because I want all of that. So, waste not, want not. We actually grow sweet potatoes also. Did you know that? The soil is so rich that we have, again, so many things. So sweet potato is one of our main crops. And Louisiana is actually an agricultural state, so that's what we do. Look at that. This is going in the oven with the pecan pies. And we'll be right back. We have our pies in the oven. So what we're going to do while we have the pies in the oven, I'm in the kitchen with my daughter Taylor. Everybody say, hey, Taylor. And we're going to make some cranberry sauce because I love making cranberry sauce. And you love eating my cranberry sauce, right?
It's mine. It's not anybody else's, it's mine.
There you go. So we're going to start off. We have 2 cups of water. You can come on back here. We have 2 cups of water going in. And the heat is on high right now. When I do my cranberry sauce, I just like the heat on high. We're going to put a cup of wine in. There's about a cup left in there. So what is your favorite thing about the cranberry sauce, Taylor?
For me, I like that it's not overly sweet. There's definitely sugar content there, but with the orange liqueur, you kind of get that nice aromatic kind of thing going with it, and it's accentuated by the orange zest. So I really like orange everything, orange blossom water, orange zest. So having that in there is kind of nice. And then when we're doing it at home, sometimes you'll add in a little bit more like a cinnamon or something just a little bit different that kind of pulls it together more for the holidays, especially Thanksgiving, because it feels like cinnamon is everywhere for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Well, not feels like it is. So I don't know, it's not anything like the canned sauce, and I've never gone to anyone else's house and had anything like it, so.
And that's the thing,
it's because it's special.
Yes, make it different. You know, I added the orange in here, and I put brown sugar in here because I was using brown sugar already with the pies. Had some left, added in there. I put a little bit of regular granulated sugar in there. The wine is in there, and I just need to add in the orange liqueur. That is the theme for this holiday season. How much you want in there? By the way, she's an adult. Okay. I have to tell y'all that right now. There you go. Was that enough?
An adult amount.
An adult amount. Sounds good. So,
drink responsibly, cook responsibly.
Yes. There you go. So we're going to let this just come to a boil. And then, what else are you cooking for the holidays?
I'll just explain this.
Okay, what? We're listening.
Well, when we bring it to a boil, what's going to happen is some of that sugar will evaporate out, which helps us set this. Additionally, it's almost kind of the same way you would denature a protein, where we break down some of the bonds in these sugar molecules, allowing them to reform and restructure themselves more tightly than before. In addition to that, most fruits have some degree of pectin, which if you look at the labels on your gummy candies, is what makes them chewy and nice. So by doing this with a high volume of water, with a little bit of alcohol to kind of disperse it, kind of keep it from gelling too much, you end up with something with a nice, soft, jelly-like texture, but not full-on candy.
And that's what you're going to see when we finish. So when we come back, we're going to have the pies, and we're going to show you the finished cranberry sauce. We'll be right back. We have pies. They are ready. They have cooled. Look at this sweet potato pie. Look at this pecan pie. I'm so proud of myself for these pecan pies. So, just cut however big of a piece you want. Now, when I'm working over at Southside Gardens, they don't let me cut the dessert because I always cut it too big. I like dessert. But look at this here. Don't you want a piece? Okay, now I'm gonna move over to, let me wash off my knife, rinse it off, turn the water off, and we're gonna cut the pecan pie. This one's a little trickier because of the pecans in here. You have to go through the nuts. You can use already chopped pecans or chop them yourself. I like to use pecan halves. I like the look of that, so I don't cut mine up. Just makes it a little more challenging when you're slicing, but that's okay. I like a challenge. Look at this here coming up. Look at that. Now, just a little side note. You can add chocolate chips to the bottom of your pecan pie, and it can be a chocolate pecan pie. Okay, and remember we also did the cranberries. I'm gonna add a little cranberries on here because I like cranberry sauce. So, here we go. Pecan pie, sweet potato pie, cranberry sauce. I'm Chef Celeste, and I'll see you next time.